Welcome to the third episode of the Comic Capital. I'm your host, Charles.
And I'm Casey, and today we're going to review Injustice Year 3. Please remember our podcast does contain spoilers. To avoid any spoilers and to further enjoy this podcast, we recommend reading the issue first, and don't forget to support your local comic book store. So, last episode, we went over the Green Lantern fight, right?
Yeah.
We enjoyed that one. What were your opinion on this one? With how the fight ended and where it ended?
What do you mean by where the fight ended?
Well, where one of the lanterns ended.
Oh. I mean, you can just go ahead and talk about it.
Landing on Constantine's house and just killing his wife?
No, it wasn't his house. It was his wife's house. They weren't together.
Well, yeah. I was shocked that he had a daughter. I didn't know that he had a kid.
Man, he's a womanizer. What are you talking about?
True. And then we go off into Batman getting prepared with his team and the Dr. Fate's tower.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden we hear Constantine knock. Were you expecting him to go over there?
Yes.
What was the reason for him to go over there again?
I mean, look, I don't remember this one very good, so.
I think it was he was feeling something magical watching over him, right?
You know, it was either that or he wanted to protect his daughter.
He was wanting to ask for help from a detective, and then I think they found a detective, but it wasn't Batman. It was a monkey, or a chimp.
They're very different.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. It is a smart aleck.
Do you know his name?
Detective Chimp.
Do you know his real name?
No.
Good, neither do I.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it even says anything.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a character before this. I'm like
right
30% sure his name is Bobo.
It would make sense. And then I was doing a little research about, because it never showed how they caught Raven, but John goes to find, I don't remember the name of the character. They collect some materials to open Raven's dimension, and then goes to tell Trigon that she's been captured. And he tries to bargain his soul with him.
He didn't try to bargain his soul. He was trying to bargain to get out of his soul.
Yeah.
But Trigon's like, nah, I'm going to keep your soul.
And tell me where Raven is when you find out. But get out of here. And Superman is wanting to figure out what happened to half the team because Batman and them caught him. The Flash was in a restraining, like a chair that was restraining him.
He was on a table.
Yeah. And then we go to Batman meeting with John and the chimp. And they have a conversation in the car. It's funny seeing Batman talk to a monkey.
Why is it funny?
I don't know, it's just not expected.
Why the world's greatest detectives in the same car?
I can't get on with the monkey being a detective, but I think it's a magic thing.
Nah.
No? And they end up going to Jason Blood's house. That was via the Demon Etch again, too? Well,
for a second.
Bonded with him.
For a second.
Well. And then Harley's with them. She's become part of the team. Got Harvey Bullock still with the team, but then he decides it's too crazy because Magic's getting involved and he wants to leave. And Chimp's trying to talk him out of it. He's like, no, and then he opens the door and it gets blasted.
And who blasted it?
It is Spectre.
Oh yeah, it was
supposedly.
Spectre.
Yeah, it was supposedly Spectre.
I legitimately thought it was Superman. Like I said, this book for me was forgettable.
Okay, so they got a villain working with them. Clarion, Lord of Chaos.
I mean, the boy with the cat.
Mhm.
I mean,
He's normally a villain, but I guess he was interested in Batman's side. I don't know. But something tells me he was just up to something. You've got Batman going outside to confront the Spectre and just like, I'm gonna talk to him. He's the spirit of vengeance. Acting like he's gonna get along with him.
I don't know. My favorite part about that was Constantine saying like,
You got some balls.
yeah, he's like, I couldn't do that.
And Spectre claims Batman's being a distraction, pointing it out, knowing already.
Well, he only knew after they started teleporting people.
Right. We didn't mention this in the beginning. Zatanna is at the house too with everybody.
Yeah, but she's been there.
Yeah. And she's teleporting everybody's safety. And then it cuts to Dr. Chimp wanting, or not Dr. Chimp, sorry, Harley wanting Dr. Fate to help Chimp. But she's making fun of him because he's not a real doctor. After he said something like, I'm not a real doctor.
He says, I'm not that kind of doctor.
Yeah. I don't know, you didn't remember much. You remember when Sinestro was torturing the people? And then Superman walks in to stop him?
I mean, the only thing that stuck out to me with that was the fact that Sinestro was putting things inside of people.
Yeah.
I was like, this is kind of weird.
And Superman just lets him continue torturing. And then we come to find out Spectre's helping the Superman?
Helping him, watching over him.
And it's that Batman and John go to see Madame Xanadu, I think's her name. She's a fortune teller. See if they can have their plan work to stop Superman. She doesn't want to help John because he's had bad luck in his life or whatever.
So, fun fact about Madame Xanadu, she is Jason Blood's lover.
That's why she didn't want to help.
And they have been together for over probably 6,000 years, something like that.
Speaking of, we did skip over saying that Jason got blown up at the door too, because he was trying to chase after Chimp and Harvey. She tells him the fortune. I can't remember much of them, but one of the end parts is the Joker is to return, and Batman's like, the Joker returning alive?
I remember that part, and it says something about the Empress awakens, the Emperor sleeps.
Yeah. Which Empress is Wonder Woman and Emperor is Superman. We cut back to a dark room where Raven's being captive. Clarion's in the room with his cat, and the cat knocks over the candle, and she ends up astral projecting out to call for Superman's help.
When you say that, Clarion's not in the room. He just tells the cat to go knock it over.
Yeah.
That way it looks like she escaped.
Right. We know it wasn't an accident since they were trying to call Superman, because he ends up heading over and trying to knock the door down on the building, and it's like a magic protector on it. So he ends up using the ring to build a construct. And then he goes in the room and Raven's in there, and it turns out it's not Raven. It ends up being Ragman.
Your favorite superhero.
Okay, on Arrow. I don't know. I don't know much about him. I know his cloth, like.
He's made of a bunch of rags. That's all you need to know.
Well, he I don't know. It's not hurting, but it's like making the souls of the damned repent. And he ends up covering Superman and gets lasered by him. And while that's going on, Shazam gets called by Superman to take care of it. Spectre ends up locating him because Superman then opened up. I don't know, he opened up the magic block or something. I don't know how they explained it.
He said, my Superman, he's in trouble.
Yeah. And then they end up killing Ragman. Superman and Shazam take off to find the actual Raven. And while they're flying, we got Deadman, which I don't know much about. I don't think he was a circus performer.
I mean, he's the same as the Flying Graysons. He's an acrobat.
Yeah. He ends up possessing Shazam.
What's his real name?
The Deadman?
Yeah, what's his real name?
I don't remember.
Boston Brand.
Yeah.
He talks with a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah. I know about him from the Injustice movie that I watched. I just couldn't remember his name. And they end up getting near the Spectre, and Spectre grabs Shazam, reading into his body and seeing 3 souls instead of the 2 that are normally there. But he didn't know he had 2 souls in, 2 beings in his mind or whatever. So Spectre ends up killing him, or majorly injuring the Deadman.
I mean, killing him's the correct way of saying it.
Yeah, and then Deadman's talking to him. He ends up finding out the Spectre isn't the real Spectre, because the host body is not being sinister or whatever. And then it cuts to Batman going to see the Swamp Thing.
Well, it's Batman and Constantine that go and see him.
Yeah. Batman and Constantine go see Swamp Thing.
The Swamp Thing doesn't think he's trustworthy.
Right, and don't they just walk off after that?
They try to convince him, and then he's just like, "I don't trust you, John Constantine."
Right, he's like, "I don't want to hurt you."
He's like, "I don't trust you either."
And he goes back to Deadman, choosing the next Deadman.
He goes to the Himalayan mountains to some goddess.
I don't remember her name. It ends up, you see the hand grabbing he's grabbing his hand or his arm, and it cuts to Dick Grayson, which I thought was pretty cool.
Deadwing.
I was kind of surprised that they did that.
I'm not. Think about it. They're both acrobats.
Yeah. Go back. They discuss the prediction of the fortune teller. Etrigan comes in to fight Superman. That was pretty fun. Magic versus Man of Steel. I don't remember much what the Phantom Stranger was doing there. I know he was talking with the Spectre.
So the Phantom Stranger was just trying to literally convince him not to get this fight because it's not his fight.
He ends up killing Phantom Stranger. And while that happened, we go back to Batman and Etrigan making a deal and swapping places.
Now, I never see them make the deal.
Yeah.
All we see is Etrigan switches with Batman and he throws the dust in his mouth.
Right. And that ends up putting Superman in eternal sleep, supposedly. So everyone's thinking they won. But after that, Wonder Woman wakes up. Not much after that, other than Batman telling all the other heroes that were working with Superman that he's been defeated.
He said, "Just give up. Superman's down."
Yeah, and then Wonder Woman ends up seeing that Superman was wearing the yellow ring and starts throwing blame at Sinestro.
You should throw out that she did wake up somewhere in there.
Yeah, she woke up. I thought I did.
She woke up and it was shown that while they're in the coma that they are in a blissful dreamlike state.
Yeah.
And who woke her up was Ares and Hera.
I didn't remember that part.
Yeah, it was something about because her mom had to make a deal with Hera, and she tried to ask her mom what the deal was.
Yeah. And then she said, "Don't worry about it," didn't she?
She just walked out of the room and she said, "It's good to have you back, Diana."
Yeah, got Superman with the ring on, and Diana's just upset. So she ends up telling him to take it off. And then she breaks it. And then it cuts to Spectre telling Superman where everyone on his team is. I don't remember much in that part.
I don't remember that at all, to be honest.
Deadwing now. is on search for the actual host of the Spectre. And he ends up finding him, I think, in Arkham. He's like drugged up.
Well, he looked like he was on the Joker.
Yeah.
Joker's serum or whatever.
Yeah, he had that smirk on his face.
When he was laughing, he's like,
Yeah. I don't remember what they were doing, but Batman and the rest of the team end up using the super pills because they had made more.
Superman confronts them.
The Tower of Fate.
Because the Spectre teleports them there.
Yeah, that's right. Because that's where they ended up losing Clarion by Sinestro.
And that's where, because I remember one of my favorite parts was Dr. Fate saying like, well, if they're gonna come here and fight, let's make it into our advantage. And then he changes everything to like an MC Escher painting.
Yeah, the stairs upside down, side to side.
And then they're like, this is to our advantage?
Constantine ends up saying, fuck this. Oh, sorry. He summons Trigon. That one came out, I'm sorry.
Well, it's funny, because I don't remember how Constantine even summoned. I don't think it shows him summoning Trigon, Trigon just shows up.
Oh, I swear he said something about he's gonna summon him.
Well, he talks about it, but then he doesn't show him actually doing it. She just shows up, and you see Hellfire going.
Yeah. And then Trigon comes in, killing Ares again.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if this time he's actually dead, though.
I'm not sure. Deadwing ends up finding out who Spectre actually is, because the host is in the whatever state he's in, and it ends up being, I don't know how to say this name.
I was gonna ask you if you knew how to say it.
I don't know how. He's like a prankster character. I don't know.
His name is Mixelplix.
Okay. Trigon ends up fighting him. I don't know his name.
Say it.
Sorry.
Mixelplix.
Mixelplix. It's so bad they end up destroying reality. You know, I think this is the point that they teleported near the House of Mystery.
Yeah. Nobody teleported them. It's just because of the magic warping reality that just kind of.
Right, yeah. And Swamp Thing was over that way. I don't remember how he got over that way.
Well, I don't know if he's over that way or if he just went there.
Right.
Because they said that they were destroying the plants and stuff, so I'm assuming he probably just walked there or whatever.
He probably sensed it, yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't know much about Swamp Thing.
I know it's some dead guy.
All I know is you don't let him touch you.
Well, that's going on. Everyone's battling. The heroes start fighting each other. And then Nightwing goes and possesses Poison Ivy to bring her to the fight to stop Swamp Thing. And then he ends up possessing Billy to talk to Batman. And ends up telling him not to give up on Damian.
He says, I love you, Dad.
I'm not doing that.
He said, it's okay, Dad.
I love you, Dad. And while that's going on, Wonder Woman's fighting the other
She's
heroes.
fighting Batwoman and the Huntress.
Batwoman and Huntress. And she ends up choking Huntress out, killing her. And Batwoman's like, murderer!
Well, no, she didn't even choke her out. I don't really know if you remember how it happens.
I thought she had her with the rope and was choking her.
No, so she throws the rope at her, right? And it wraps around her neck, and she just yanks it real hard.
Yeah.
So it's basically she did a ground version of Gwen Stacying her.
Too soon. It's still too soon. Everything.
It's not too soon. You weren't even born when that happened.
Tragic. Gwen Stacy's a tragic moment.
And I know one thing we left out, but Wonder Woman was fighting a lot of people because she even fought Catwoman and knocked her out.
Yeah. After that, Trigon and Mixelplix, whatever his name is, were still tearing reality even more. And it got so bad that Poison Ivy and Swamp Thing ended up working together to help the plants.
They said, what are we doing? We don't care about this. We just care about the plants.
Yeah. Let's leave everyone to their stuff and do this. And they end up, because it's getting so bad, they have the Flash. They free the Flash and he runs everybody into, I don't want to say it's separate dimensions, but like there's two different houses.
The House of Mystery and the House
of Mystery, and then and you got Superman's team in one, and then Batman's team in the other.
Don't ask us which one is which.
I don't remember who was in which. Anyway, Batman ends up figuring out that, well, not figuring out, but like wondering if Constantine planned this. I don't think. Didn't he end up? He did end up planning it, right?
Yeah, but we don't learn that to the very end.
Well, that's going on. John and Batman talking, and then Nightwing goes over to the other team to get Billy's help to scream at Shazam in the middle of the fight.
Shazam!
Where the gods are fighting. And they're wanting to use him because he's got enough magic energy to power Dr. Fate's whatever he's planning to do.
Okay, let me correct you a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
So, it's not Dr. Fate that he's helping power. Dr. Fate just has the ability to control his lightning. And so, they're using the lightning as a conduit to teleport them to an area called the Void, which is basically the closest things they can get to as death.
Yeah.
So Billy goes, Shazam! And then the lightning comes down and he curbs it at them.
Gotcha.
And it takes Dr. Fate with him.
Yeah. Dr. Fate's pretty much gone too. But it did go. I mean, they did go away. I don't know. I don't remember it. I think it was after all the fighting. They go back to their main headquarters or base, whatever. Superman was apologizing to the team and telling them he's sorry for it getting out of hand. And now we get to John's plan.
This is when Batman confronts them and he's like, was this your plan all along?
Yeah, to get rid of Trigon. He didn't really care about anything else. He didn't care about the Batman vs. Superman fight. He just wanted to save his daughter and get Trigon away.
What a good day.
And then it ends up, it actually ends with John and Rose going away, right?
Yeah, it ends on a picture of John
walking.
It's on a picture of John, Rose, the mom, and then the building that fell on the mom.
Like you said, there's not much that was really there to remember. The story was Yeah, I would have to give it a rating of what? I would say a 2. It was there to me.
I'd give it a rating of a 2.5 out of 5, only because I have recently read some of the Etrigan Xanadu stuff, and I was excited to see Etrigan, and then he immediately died.
Well, his host ended up dying.
Exactly, though. That's the problem. I like Jason Blood.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine.
No.
He's probably gone for good. But, you have anything to add?
I mean, I just hope the next year's better.
I, as well. I hope they branch away from magic a little bit.
Well, I get it. It's like one of Superman's weaknesses or whatever, but
yeah,
just give me kryptonite.
Just use the Rock, please. I'm fine with the Rock.
Wayne Johnson.
If they can kill Nightwing with the Rock, they can kill Superman with the Rock.
Actually, I didn't even think about that still just now. There was only one panel in the entire comic for year 3 that had Lex Luthor in it.
Yeah, I don't even remember which one. Like what point in time in the comic?
It was literally just them asking Lex about Cyborg and everything.
That's right.
He was like, "You were there, Lex. What happened?"
I'm get paid for this.
He's like, I was knocked out.
Yeah, this one was the art was still good, but it was just.
I'll be honest. The art in this one really made me feel weird. There was some really awkward art in this one.
Really?
Like, I'll just send you the link, picture of it later. There's a scene where they like drew Superman and Wonder Woman together, and Superman looks so weird.
Is it one of those moments that we mentioned in the first episode?
No, it's from year 3.
No, I'm saying like how we described the art would be sometimes.
I don't know. It's just like Superman's face was really elongated. I don't know. Like I said, I'll show you later.
With that, we'll see you next time, and we hope you enjoy our podcast. Please follow us on our social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We've got Twitch coming up soon. We got Patreon set up. We have Reddit. And then we have YouTube set up. And we hope to see you next time.
You all have a good day. And remember, support your local comic book stores.